A very good morning, students. Today we will be starting off with the second unit on hotel accounting. So before we could move on to solving the problems, we will just have a glance at the theory that is very important and relevant for solving the problems. With this regard, we will start off with the introduction to hotel accounting. So what are hotels? Basically, a hotel is a form of business which provides food and accommodation to the customers. But of recent times, big hotels have also started providing other comforts like recreation, entertainment facilities, business facilities, and many more. So, hotels have different provisions for serving refreshments or for serving lunch or maybe to serve the dinner, including arrangements of bar as well. So, that's the added facilities that hotels are having. So by this, you understand that day by day, the activities of business are also increasing. Sometimes it so happens that hotels do have a separate section for catering. It could be food or it could be refreshments at different places at different social gatherings or occasions as well. Now, coming to accounting in hotels, it depends, the type of accounting that you maintain depends upon the size of the hotel. If it's a very big hotel and the activities are increasing day by day, so as such, separate accounts for purchases of various items and sales of various types of items is maintained and ordered in order to ascertain the correct position of the business. So this is done with the help of maintaining accounts properly. So they maintain an analytical purchase book and a cash book in order to record the purchases and expenses with different columns for different purchases and different expenditure that you have been incurred. So some of the expenditures could be wines and minerals, groceries and provisions, cutlery, bedding and linens, establishments, furniture and fixtures, and many more. Now coming to the different types of customers or guests in a hotel. So the customers or the guest that a hotel could have depends upon different perspective. So we classify the guest from the point of view of residence or from the point of view of settlement of the bills. There are two methods of classifying the guest or the customer of the hotel. From the point of view of residence, there are two categorization of guest. You call them as resident guest or you call them as non-resident guest. So the resident guest plan is of two kinds. We have a European plan and an American plan. European plan, under this plan, the hotels provide only accommodation facility for guests, but not meals. So the guest is required to pay only for the room that he is occupying for accommodation. We call it as room charges. As per the American plan, the guest need to pay for both accommodation, that is the room charges, as well as the meals. That means hotels, those provide lodging and boarding, go for an American plan. Now coming to the non-resident guest, here the guest is provided with only boarding and needs to pay only for boarding. That is only for meals and not for lodging, because the lodging would be paid by the company as such. For example, if company X managing director conducts a frequent visit to Bombay, his head office, so the company bears the expenditure of this guest room. So the company bears the lodging and the boarding for meals he has to pay. This is called as non-resident guest. Now, the second form of classifying the guest is based on the settlement of bills. From the point of view of settlement of bills, the guest is, or the customers of a hotel are classified as a registered guest or a credit card holder guest. A registered guest is the person who is going to settle the bills when he is going to check out. A credit card holder doesn't settle his bills, but he is going to, this will be paid on a future date, or it will be paid on a preponed date. So those who do not settle their bills when they check out, they are termed as credit card holders. It could be individuals, it could be sponsored guests by airlines, it could be travel agents, it could be guests sponsored by governments. So for example, if you're individuals, you would have booked a room permanently for your purpose because you're going to go for a regular visit over there. So such people are called as credit card holders. Next, before we could move on to the accounting of hotel industry, we need to understand the meaning of certain terms used in connection to hotel industry. We have two important terms that we need to understand before we could solve the problems on income statement and balance sheet. One is the room rates, which are, and basis of charging the room rates, and the next is room occupancy rate. Okay, so now what is a room rate and what is room occupancy rate? So what is room rate and how the room rates are fixed? So basically room rate is nothing but the higher charges for accommodation provided to the guest by the hotel is known as the room rate. These rates are to be fixed properly because this is the only main source of income to the hotel industry. And this room rate will always be calculated with the formula. So room rate is equal to estimated cost of operation plus expected fair return on investment divided by the number of available rooms that can be let out into occupancy rate. Okay, so what are the basis of charging room rate? So that there are different bases of charging the room rate. You could charge based on 24 hours. That means you are going to charge the room rent based on 24 hours stay in the hotel. So 1 day stay, you will be charged for 1 day. That is, if the occupant is allowed to stay for 24 hours from the time of his arrival to the time of his departure. If it is 24 hours, he will be, or less than 24 hours, he will be charged for 1 day. So that is called as basis of 24. That means the time between his login and log out, it should be 24 hours. So he has to pay 1 day's charge if he stays for less than 24 hours. In some hotels, it is charged based on night spent. So the number of nights you have spent. Maybe you joined yesterday morning, you have spent yesterday night, and today you are checking out by 4 o'clock evening, then you will be paying charge for 1 night spent. This is basically bit, it actually reduces the income of a person, because if you have checked out yesterday morning, for today morning it is 24 hours, and for today after by evening, if you're maybe today evening if you're checking out, that will add on to another 8 or 9 hours. So if it is based on 24 hours, you will be charging him for 2 days. But if it is night spent, even though you are checking out today evening 4 o'clock, you will be charged only for 1 night. So that's going to be a loss to the hotel. That is the reason why another base of charging room rate is there, that is basis of checking out. So it is some of the hotels or most of the hotels will usually fix a timing, 12 noon. So for this, full charge is to be paid by the occupant from the time of occupying the room to the checkout time, which usually is less than 24 hours. So for example, if you have occupied a room in a hotel at 7 a.m. in the morning today, where checkout time was fixed at 12 a.m. today night, and you leave the hotel on Tuesday at 4 p.m., you should pay for 3 days charge. That is from 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. Monday, plus 12 noon of Monday to 12 noon of Tuesday, plus 12 noon of Tuesday to 4 p.m. of Tuesday, you will get 2.5 days. So that will be counted as 3 days. So checkout time is more benefiting to the hotel than the 24-hour, the number of time spent, nights spent in the hotel. So next, while ascertaining the room rent, you need to keep in mind certain points. What are they? We have availability of rooms in the hotel, expected rate of return on investment, what is the expenditure, both capital and revenue, what is the location of the hotel, what is the location of a particular room, what is the availability of various facilities, and the occupancy rates. So in the coming class, we will understand what do you mean by occupancy rate, how do we calculate the occupancy rate, and problems on calculation of room rates. With this, I wind up the class. Thank you. Have a nice day.